First off, tell me your name.
Mike Burton.
Well, Mr. Burton, looks like you're running for political office this year.
Yes, sir. I'm running for Senate Seat 52.
What is your reason for running for the Senate Seat 52?
Well, I have 2 young children, a 7-year-old and a 10-year-old, and 6 grandchildren, and I'm concerned about their future. I've been in this area, grew up here. I love it. I think the quality of life is great. I want to maintain that quality of life, and I want to improve it. And I think I have the ability to innovate and make this area better.
What is some of your campaign promises, and what exactly are you running on?
Well, I call it the E3 program. Not ET, but E3. The economy, education, and the environment. I think that we can take these 3 things. We can, let's just take something like solar panels. We can set up incentives that would let school systems set up solar panels, which would cause businesses to be created. We could have entrepreneurs. We could have a development system that would let the technical college and other colleges train people. It's a very high-tech job, good-paying job. People could install these things. This is something that's a freight train that's coming, and we need to be looking at it. We need to look at local farmers, for instance. We need to look at how can we set up some type of web page that would list all the farmers in the area, what they produce, what their cost is, when things are ready for delivery, connect that to schools, hospitals, cafeterias, restaurants, and let these businesses grow. There are a lot of other things we need to look at, like I think we have too many building codes that's slowing the building down. We have some problems with some of the small farmers who are trying to set things up. We need to look at the regulations that could be, we need to have regulations to maintain safety, but we need to look at the regulations that are keeping people from setting up their own businesses.
You're running as a Democrat this year for a seat that's been held by a Republican, for several terms now. What exactly, do you consider yourself more of a middle of the road kind of guy?
Well, this is what I think about. I think that I have the ability to work with everybody, and I've been talking about sweet reason, the idea that we can sit down and reason these things out. There's some things that I think has been an issue. For instance, education is a major issue in this campaign. I think we have been gutting education. This is not good for the state of Georgia. It's causing all types of problems, like in Cobb County when they lay off 550 teachers. Other school systems going to 4-day work weeks. And I see this as putting Georgia behind instead of making Georgia a leader. And as my friend Buddy Childers says, I would strip the gold off of the dome before I would gut education.
As far as, the district, there's 3 counties that the district entails. It's Floyd, Bartow, and a little bit of Gordon. What do you bring to the table that the other candidates cannot for these areas?
Well, again, I think that the idea that we can have synergy, that we can have innovation, that we can bring people together. Of course, we've got to look at the 411 connector to 75. We need to look at a lot of transportation issues. And I think we need to look at the way the taxes are set up now and where our priorities are. Are our priorities buildings built by SPLOS, or are our priorities education of our children for the future?
I'm just going to ask you, you brought up the 411 connector. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, if I'm elected, I will do whatever I can do to make that happen. I realize that it's been in the works for a long time. It's going to take some more things to make it happen, but it's something we need to look at very hard.
What's something about Floyd County that you fell in love with? You've lived here, you worked here. What is it about this area that you want to give back to and that has made you decide to run for political office?
Well, again, I have to talk about my children and my grandchildren and the fact that the quality of life here has always been very good. It's very high. Unfortunately, our manufacturing, our cotton mills and those sort of things are a thing of the past, and we have to do something about that. All these jobs are closing down. But I think we could be, sort of like North Carolina, where it has the Golden Triangle. We could take our 4 colleges here and all of our medical centers and set up some business incubators and do some research and development and start making some high-level jobs here to keep our kids here and not let them go to Boston or Oregon or Seattle to find these types of jobs.